Hey, sister.
Hey, sister.
Last week, we chased ghosts through the streets of New York in Ghostbusters.
Yes, we did. And this week, we are shifting from comedy to pure creep factor. Into
creep factor.
Yeah, into one of the most chilling suburban stories of the 80s that all of our real fans are going to know.
Yes, and probably I would say love, maybe it's a love-hate relationship. It is a movie that turned everyday life, televisions, toys, even closets into something terrifying.
Yes, all the things that when you were a kid, nightmares were made of.
That's right.
That's right, real fans. Today, we are rewinding Poltergeist. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Missy, and this is Real Sisters Rewind.
Join us as we go back to the 80s.
Hey, real fans, welcome back to Real Sisters Rewind, back to the 80s. We are two sisters who love movies and love taking you back to the ones that defined perhaps the greatest decade of all time, the 80s.
That's right. And if you're enjoying the podcast, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating, and write a quick review.
And when you do, take a quick screenshot of it and email it to hello@realsistersrewind.com because we're sending Real Sister stickers to everyone who shows us some love.
All right, real fans, let's rewind to 1982. Whoa, way back. And step into the eerie world of Poltergeist.
Poltergeist was released in theaters on June 4th, 1982. Amanda, how old were you?
5.
You were 5.
I was a baby. Mm-hmm. Way too young to see it at the theater.
Yeah.
I do remember how I saw this. Well, not the whole way through, but I saw a lot of bits and pieces, and I remember how. So do you remember in our old house how we had the stairs that came down and the banisters? And if you sat at the top of those stairs, you could see the TV.
Yeah, you could. My little eyes saw many things I probably shouldn't have seen.
Yeah. And so I remember various times when y'all or whoever was watching Poltergeist, it was either on TV, on like HBO or something, or maybe it was rented, and really specific scenes are like ingrained in my head. I mean, I saw it later all the way through, obviously, many times, but I always remember like there are really specific scenes that I remember seeing and being so afraid of.
Yeah. Well, I was 13 years old, and I did go to the theaters, and in my mind, I did. It was PG, sister. It was PG.
Oh my gosh.
So a group of us went to the theaters. You know, it was summer season of movies.
Another
but in
summer
my
season,
mind, I know, in my mind, it was an October season, you know, like just in the memories. And so when I saw the June 4th date, I was like, gosh, I thought it was like October, but it wasn't. It was June 4th. And creepy is the way I would absolutely describe it. It was hard to watch.
Was it like jump scare? Do you remember?
Yes,
you remember being
scares.
Like scared.
But I'm going to just tell you this. I had jump scares watching it again, rewatching it for the podcast.
Me too. You
Definitely
probably had fun watching it.
Yeah, I did, but
because it's not just like gory.
No, it's not gory. But it had a lot of unexpected things. But yeah,
for sure.
And we'll talk about the rating when we get to breaking down the movie, but probably wasn't the best thing for kind of a little scaredy cat girl to see at 13 anyway. But I did, and I survived it, and people have seen worse, I'm sure.
For sure. I will say this is interesting because this is, again, another scary summer release.
Right.
And I know Ghostbusters wasn't super scary, but we talked about that too. Like, I wonder if I don't know. I just wonder if it was like, maybe we should release this closer to Halloween. But I wonder, summer's a good time to release because everybody goes to the theater.
Yeah, and I wonder, if that was the time when VHSs and stuff were coming out, if the marketing behind it is let's release it during the busy summer season and then
Mhm.
release the videotape, when
In the
the
fall.
season gets here. But honestly, 82 was pretty early, so I'm not sure
Yeah.
about that. I,
Yeah.
I think it was a little later when that type of
Uh-huh.
marketing might have
Plus,
come on
movies then stayed in the theaters a long
a
time.
long
If it was
time.
if it
Yeah.
was well received.
Yeah,
It was probably there for a
absolutely.
while.
Well, let's hop into our pop culture spotlight for the
Okay.
week, and the time around when Poltergeist hit theaters.
Yes, let's do it. So the number one song at the time, Ebony and Ivory.
Live
Paul
together in perfect
Harmony.
harmony.
So
Oh,
that was
yeah.
Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder. Man, Stevie is a real blast from the past when you think about the 80s.
Oh,
Like
it's so
he was
funny.
such an 80s guy.
Oh, and so great. Chris and I were riding in the truck just like this last weekend, and that song, "Isn't She Lovely?" And I
That
told
one's
him,
so
I said, I
cute.
can hardly listen to that song without tears welling up in my eyes. It's just such a cute song.
It's a good bop.
Sweet song, yeah, but it's also got such like strong meaning behind it.
Do you
One,
remember he was on the Cosby Show one time? Like a special guest. Like they got to
oh
go to
no,
the
I don't really
studio
remember
and record
that.
with Stevie. Oh yeah.
Yeah. One of the things when I was looking at the music of that time, the top of the charts, in the middle of the pop chart was Willie Nelson.
I
Always
know.
on my mind.
You were always on my
I
mind.
think that was from the movie Honeysuckle Rose. It may not be. I may be wrong.
I don't know
Um,
Honeysuckle Rose.
you don't know the movie Honeysuckle Rose with Willie Nelson?
No.
Oh, it was a great one. I
Does
loved
he
Willie
sing in that one?
Nelson.
I did too, but I guess I was too young to know Honeysuckle Rose. Is that the one where he's saying, "Take the ribbon from your hair"?
Oh
That
God,
one?
that's such a great song. No, it's not. I don't think that's an
Okay.
older song, like
Oh,
maybe
you
from the
you know which
60s.
one I do recognize on this list?
What?
Number 10. Rosanna.
See,
I
when I saw Rosanna, I thought it was
love
all I want
you.
to do when I wake up in the morning is squeeze you tight.
Oh, wait, maybe that is it.
Rosanna, Rosanna.
Isn't that
I
the
know
same
our
song?
real fans. We apologize, real fans. We are
Wait, I
singing and
think
we.
that's the same song.
I don't think so.
Oh no, you're right. Wait. Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. I was singing Joanna.
That's right. That is hysterical.
Joanna.
All right, one other song I want to mention
But
though.
wait. I've got to say, Rosanna, the one you sang, I do love that song. And I love
Yeah,
Toto.
yep. But this was so huge at that time. And I think they really did have to reach out and change their number. 8675309.
75309.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
Jenny. Yep. Well, on television, 60 Minutes was dominating as the most watched program, while more drama type shows like Dallas and Dynasty, which we didn't watch Dallas because by now our listeners know that we couldn't get CBS out in the country where we lived.
Wait, have we
We get
plugged that
60
our
Minutes.
papa was on 60 Minutes?
No, we haven't. We should. I wonder if we could find that in the archives.
Oh, I've
somewhere.
seen it. He has
I've
the
seen it, but I mean somewhere easy to get to share.
Yeah, y'all, our papa was on 60 Minutes, like a huge long segment. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
it was. It was
It-
really good. But also in the top 10, but toward the bottom of the top 10, we had The Love Boat, which I loved every Saturday night. And it was probably about this time because I wasn't like going out at 13 years old. But if I wasn't babysitting, I was upstairs in mama and daddy's room. There was a TV on there chest of drawers, and I would watch The Love Boat at 8 o'clock and Fantasy Island at 9 o'clock every Saturday night, like
The
clockwork.
plane.
That's right.
Is Fantasy Island on here? I don't see it. Nope.
No.
But oh my gosh, what about Three's Company? I loved that.
Come and knock on our door.
But I only really watched that in reruns, but I thought it was so funny.
I have adult friends that talk about their parents wouldn't allow them to watch Three's Company because it was two women living with a man, and it was
that's funny.
controversial back in the day. Yeah.
Of course, to my little self, I didn't know that. But yeah, these are definitely the shows of the early 80s.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So on the cover of People magazine in June of 1982, it was Lonnie and Bert. The headline was about them, cementing them as one of Hollywood's biggest couples.
I mean, at the time, they were like, J-Lo and Ben Affleck. I mean, it was a big deal that Lonnie Anderson and Burt Reynolds were together. I remember it clearly.
Look at that hair she's got going. I mean, it is gorge.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that hair today, actually.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, sister, do you remember? Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And you may not remember these, but I clearly do, and I have a story. Dr. Scholl's exercise sandals. Do you remember them?
Is that a joke?
No, it's not a joke. Mom's friend, Miss Joanna, had a pair, and she was so beautiful, right? She was tall and thin and model-like, and just beautiful. And I can remember her coming over to pool parties, to lay out by the pool with Mom.
Okay.
And she would wear her Dr. Scholl's exercise sandal, and they were like, kind of like flip-flops, except they just had like one strap going over your toes, and it had like a little buckle on it. We'll have to find an image to put on social. Not so much. The sole was kind of wavy. I mean, I don't ever remember thinking they were like super cute, like, oh, I've got to have some, like I did candies. Like I wanted a pair of candies, but our mom wouldn't let me have any. But the thing with the Dr. Scholl's exercise sandals is that they were supposed to work your calves as you walked.
Stop it.
Like I guess you had to grip with your toes so you didn't come out of them. And then you
worked your calves. Interesting. Yeah. That sounds like a gimmick.
Yep.
And I've got to find a picture of these because I do not know what you're talking about. That's hysterical.
Yeah. Dr. Scholl's exercise
Wait,
sandals.
why wouldn't Mom let you have candies?
Because she said they were hooker shoes.
Shut up.
Do you even know
now.
what I'm talking about when I say candies?
I'm talking about are they like the brown ones?
No, they're like stilettos.
Oh, I thought you meant like those wooden sandals. Those are candies too. Right? They're like
not back in the day. They weren't. And when candies came out, they were like 5-inch stilettos, and they had like a band that went over your toes, and they like flopped, like what Olivia Newton-John has owned when you're the one that I want. Those are candies. Those are candies.
And candies were not.
No. Well, yeah, but Mom did have a pair of red ones that I would play in.
Did your friends have candies?
A couple of my friends did have candies, and I was jealous.
Scandalous.
I know. They were scandalous.
Wow. I don't know if I'd want to walk around in those when I was 13.
Well, they were such in style. Yeah. And so you wanted to be in style. Little did I know one day I would dread putting on heels.
Okay, well, here's a did you know for you. And I like this one so much because this was such a huge part of my childhood memories. Trivial Pursuit made its debut and became the board game craze of the decade. Do you remember?
How many game nights did we have with
Trivial Pursuit? Well,
oh my gosh. Mom was so good at Trivial Pursuit.
So many, and not that many that I played because I was so little. I didn't know
very many.
You wouldn't have known. Yeah. I wouldn't know the answers, but I loved to be there for it and hang around.
Oh, you
and
were
listen
right up in it, sister. You were right up in it. But I will tell you, that you don't want to play Trivial Pursuit with my husband unless it's on
Oh,
teams
Lord,
because
no.
he read
Unless you're on his
encyclopedias at a
team.
kid, right? That's what I'm saying. If you're on his team, great. But if you're just playing as individuals or you're not on his team, I bet you he hasn't missed 2 Trivial Pursuit questions in his whole life.
And right, because he's like photographic memory.
Yeah.
But you, my friend, are very competitive at board games.
I am.
So that's why you don't like that. It wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, you'd be fine. You're laid back.
Be like, all right, whatever.
Okay, I know we've talked about it before, but when I was looking for another Do You Remember, I have to give homage. I have to give a shout out because, and actually, look what I have right here with me.
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, 1982. It debuted, quickly becoming and sustaining the most popular sodas of the decade or a lifetime. So thank you, Coke.
A lifetime.
Diet Coke.
People are addicted. I am not one of them. It does not taste good to me.
You are not. I know.
I do not care for
One
it.
time years ago, I got sick, like in May, like it was May, and I got sick. And for some reason, I did not want Diet Coke, and I did not drink Diet Coke for 2 years.
Wow.
I know. Then I went right into it.
Got right back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sister, let's start talking a little bit about this film.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we've got some big names here. The screenplay was actually written by Michael Gross.
I think it's Gra. Yeah, Gra.
Gross and Mark Victor. And it was from a story by Steven Spielberg. So I know real fans there, you probably in your mind were having some associations with Steven Spielberg, and this is why he was associated with the film. Here is a fascinating fact. Spielberg originally intended to direct Poltergeist himself, but because he was already under contract directing another very famous 80s movies that we have discussed, he couldn't.
It was our debut episode.
Real fans, E.T. He produced, co-wrote, and was still deeply involved almost all of the creative decisions. He was very invested in E.T.
The original vision that he had, because it was written from a short story, a screenplay. I mean, the screenplay was written like from a short story. His original vision was that it would be much darker and it would be titled Night Skies. And it involved aliens tormenting a family. But he eventually split the concept into 2 films, which became E.T., who united a family, actually. Isn't that interesting? And then The Haunting became part of Poltergeist.
So I wonder if, you know how we talked about Raiders of the Lost Ark as when he was writing this. I wonder if it was Night Skies that he was writing or the split scripts.
Well, I think Night Skies is something he had written like earlier.
Oh, okay.
With the idea of.
So maybe he had taken that idea and he was working on E.T.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
it's also intertwined. I love it.
I know it is. Toby Hooper is the one who directed the movie. He's known for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre of 1974. And I will tell you, talking about you sneaking on the stairs to watch something.
Sure.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre commercials, and right around in that time was The Town That Dreaded Sundown, and those 2 commercials actually scared the living daylights out of me.
100%. Town That Dreaded Sundown. Watched it on the stairs. I know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh, it scared me to death. Like the commercial itself scared me so much it made me cry or turn off the TV or turn the channel. It was horrible. But you're right. We will see, and I know we'll talk about the fact that there's a lot of Spielberg in this film, and it's because E.T. and Poltergeist were filmed almost back to back, and he would actually sometimes, sister, shuttle between sets on the same day. And that's why, and I know you mentioned it, you were like, the town even felt like E.T. That's what you told me
Oh
when
my
we,
gosh. Yeah,
right?
it freaks me out.
Yeah, but Toby Hooper, or I think it's Hooper, gets credit for directing the film.
Well, that was nice of Spielberg to let him get that credit because I'm just going to say it mirrored E.T. and other Spielberg
Yeah.
films far more than Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Definitely.
I mean, it definitely had that Spielberg vibe.
All right, sister, let's talk about the cast.
Okay, let's do, because it was a lot of great people.
It was.
All right, so we've got Jo Beth Williams. She
Oh my
plays
gosh,
the
she
mom,
was so good. Yes.
Diane Freeling, and she was fantastic.
She was fantastic. She had been, gosh, is Dudley Moore? No, who's in Kramer versus Kramer? Rain Man.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman. She was in the one that I love, Kramer versus Kramer, and she was like his friend. Like there wasn't a romantic interest with them, but I can't remember. I'm going to rewatch that movie, and
Let's do it for your birthday.
Okay, let's do it for my birthday. We'll do it. But anyway, she was in that, and I loved her in that.
And she's in The Big Chill.
Yes, she is. Which may or may not show up in our episode list pretty soon.
That's right. That's right. She did later direct, and she earned an Academy Award nomination for her short film On Hope. That was in 1994. And she actually, this is a little fun fact for you all, and I don't blame her for this. She admitted that she was terrified while she was filming the pool scene, especially after learning the skeletons were real.
Yes.
Yeah, like, no thank you.
They didn't tell her they were real until after she had filmed it.
I can't believe they got away with using real skeletons.
I know. I've got a few some info to share when we get there, but of why they did it and all that.
That is, the pool scene is one that I'm talking about. I remember as a child.
Yeah, terrifying.
That terrified me.
Yeah, terrifying. And yeah, let's don't get ahead of ourselves because there's so much I want to say.
I know.
But let's move to Coach Craig T. Nelson. He was Steve Freeling, the dad, and he's been in Parenthood, and he was Mr. Incredible in The Incredibles, and he was great, but he almost turned down Poltergeist because horror wasn't his thing, but it became really one of his defining roles.
And it was so much, to me, this is so much more than a horror movie.
I was going to say, we keep seeing as we were researching the fact that it was a horror film. It doesn't feel like a horror film.
But I think for at the time it would have been. Like now horror movies are so much more gory and gory
and graphic. And,
But this, I think, for us, I think we would think of this more as a thriller.
Thriller sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love a thriller. I don't usually like sci-fi, but
you love this movie.
I did.
And I will say this about Craig T. Nelson and Jo Beth Williams. They were both just typical mom and dad, like suburban mom and dad. They were just perfect. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Then we've got, oh my gosh, Heather O'Rourke. How do you say her last name? O'Rourke?
O'Rourke.
Carol Ann Freeling, the sweet little daughter with the blonde hair that when I was a little girl, people would always tell me I looked like her.
I know
I had the exact same haircut.
Yes, you did.
Same haircut.
That's what I can hardly watch it without thinking that about how much
I'll try to find a picture and do a side by side. I don't think I looked like her, like my face shape and stuff, but we did like have a similarity.
Y'all favored for sure. Yeah.
We favored for sure. And it's just funny because it was at the same time of that same look.
Yeah.
So she was cast, this is so cute, by Steven Spielberg when he saw her in the cafeteria. And she, I believe, was actually there with a sibling that was auditioning, but he saw her just sipping soda, and it was her sister that was auditioning. And so he saw her and thought,
grabbed her.
This is the one.
Yeah.
And I do want to just mention, this is so cool because remember when we did E.T., we talked about how Drew Barrymore
Yeah. She
was
auditioned for this
auditioned
as
for this
well. Yeah.
role, and he said, "Nope, I've got something else for
Got
you,
something else for
MVP."
you.
And he was right. Like,
Yeah.
this was definitely more Heather O'Rourke.
Yeah.
But tragically, and some of you may know this, she died in 1988. And y'all, she was only 12 years old, and it was a very strange incident, but she died of complications of an intestinal condition, um, kind of cementing her in it's part of this idea that people have of the poltergeist curse,
Yeah.
which we can get into, but
Yeah.
she's
Let's
not the
talk about
only,
it.
yeah, she's
Right.
not the only death.
Right. 4 cast members died during or soon after the filming of the movies. 2 were tragic deaths, highly, unexpected and puzzling. And then 2 were, more understandable deaths. But the other one was the sister in the movie, Dominique Dunn, played by Dana Freeling. She was the teenage daughter, and she died in 1982, choked to death by a boyfriend she had broken up with while he was begging her to take him back.
So, like, right at the time of the filming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they would have filmed it a bit earlier, but she died
I mean,
during
right.
the year that it came out. Yeah.
I wonder if I wonder how old she was. Do we know? I don't know. Okay. I want to look and see. Anyway, because in the movie, I think she was like 13 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. She was probably older than that, but still.
And then there was an evil preacher that was on Kane, and he was on Poltergeist to the other side, played by Julian Beck. He had stomach cancer, and that took his life. And then on that same, and this is why it's called that Poltergeist curse, because it wasn't just the first one, it was the sequels as well. But someone who played the shaman died after going through a heart-lung transplant. So interesting for sure.
Wow. We also have Oliver Robbins, and that is Robbie Freeling, the son, the brother.
Yes. He
And he
reminds me of somebody from
adorable.
something else. I was like, what else has this kid been on? But I couldn't
But
find.
all these kids remind me of like the kids in E.T. And like
Yeah.
I'm thinking like God, Spielberg could cast. I mean, I know he wasn't the cast person, but
Right.
he had a hand in it.
He did, because he picked Heather O'Rourke out of the cafeteria, and he told Drew Barrymore he had a better part for him. So he definitely had something to do with it. But the little boy, Oliver Robbins, who played Robbie, I kept thinking, oh, he was in something else. And he's known also for being in Airplane 2, the sequel, but that isn't why he stood out to me.
Yeah. He's adorable.
He looks like somebody. It actually is a female actress that he looks like, Shelley somebody, but they're not kin. But anyway. Then we have Zelda Rubinstein, and she played the psychic. Her performance was iconic. She has been on other unforgettable movies, TV shows, and she was the little. Did she say her name? Was it Tangina?
Tangina.
But she filmed all of her scenes in just 6 days. But in a lot of ways, sister, she became the most memorable character in the movie.
Her and Heather O'Rourke, to me, are the two most memorable characters in the movie. And Zelda was also in 16 Candles, remember? At the end, she's the organist for the sister's wedding.
Yes, I do. I remember
she's
that.
definitely, you don't forget her if you see her in a film.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the rating. You want to?
Yeah, tell me about that, because you were talking about that a little bit before, and I'm like, yowza.
Well, parents were in a uproar. It's so funny. Our mom might have been one of them, because it was so intense. And then you had Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom come out 2 years later. And so this movie actually led to the creation of that PG-13 rating that came out in 1984. There was just a big push to know, like, this is pushing the limits of what
Right.
PG I think was always thought of like a family movie,
Uh-huh.
and with some cuss words in it, and maybe
Yeah.
some kissing and some love scenes,
Mhm.
but no nudity. And
Right.
all
No
of a sudden
nudity,
they were
no major
pushing it,
curse words.
right? And that's when the
PG.
PG. I'd like to be in my PJs right now. The PG controversy came about, and it was created.
Yeah, I wonder if I bet there was some violence, like some violence criteria in there
Oh, I'm
too.
sure.
That this pushed the envelope
Yeah,
for.
for sure.
Well, the runtime was an hour and 54 minutes, which is a little long for us,
It's a
but
little long.
I love this movie. It didn't
Yeah,
feel too long for me at all
right.
because it moves pretty fast.
Yeah.
It had a budget of 10 million, almost 11 million, and it grossed 121 million, almost 122 million worldwide.
Yeah. And it was released. I know we keep talking about Spielberg and E.T., but they were released like 1 week apart. So he was
Stop.
essentially out in the box office with two massive hits that were competing with each other at the same time. And I do believe it was one weekend you'd say we're going to ET, and the next weekend you would say we're going
Yeah.
to Poltergeist, or vice versa, because that's what you did back in the 80s.
We went to
We
dinner and a
went to
movie.
the movie almost every weekend. I mean,
Mhm.
because such great films were going out. Why don't we do that anymore? Because there aren't great films to go see. I love to go to the movie. I love dinner and a movie, but there's
It's
nothing
my
I want to
favorite
see.
thing.
My favorite thing. I know. I love it.
But and that's why we have to have real sisters.
That's right.
So, first of all, I just have to acknowledge that is so bananas that ET and Poltergeist were that close together. Like,
Yeah.
what a time for him.
Uh-huh.
I'd love to hear him talk about that. That would be incredible. Um, okay, so what were the nominations and awards? Because surely there would be something. It was nominated for 3 Academy Awards: Best Sound Editing, Best Visual Effects. Of course, it was amazing. Best Original Score by Jerry Goldsmith. And I have to say here, I did while I was in the middle of watching this, I had to Google if John Williams was the
Yeah.
writer of the score because it was
Yeah.
had a
It was,
lot of that
yeah, it did.
vibe.
A lot of
But
the crescendos and
mhm,
the things that he's
mhm.
known for. And it won some other awards for best like visual effects and for horror film. But Zelda Rubinstein's performance, although it was widely praised, no other awards were given to her or any of the other
She should have been
casts.
nominated by
Yeah,
supporting role, or the doctor. I thought the doctor was really good. Okay.
yeah, she was.
All right, real fans. The TV's gone to static. The
Mm.
lights are flickering, and it's time to step inside the Freeling home. Let's rewind Poltergeist scene by scene.
Okay, sister. So this movie opens up to the national anthem. Like we really would all hear, and I don't know if you remember this. I very much do. Like staying up late, watching a movie, falling asleep, and you wake
Absolutely.
up to the national anthem and the flags on the TV, and the TV station was off for the night. You didn't have these 24-hour channels. It would be off. But I'm trying to think. I don't know if the national anthem would like wake me up, or did it just play the national anthem over and over? I think it
Mm-mm.
just played it one time.
It played at one time. When it went off the air, it played, and then it went to
Yeah,
like either the static or then
right.
we had the color bars.
The color bars. You know what? I mean, you think about the 80s and that time.
It
That's
was
pretty
amazing.
incredible. They played the national anthem of our country every night when they went off the air.
Hmm.
I mean, you talk about the innocence of a generation back in the 80s. That's
It's
something.
incredible. It's
Yeah,
incredible. And
incredible.
then you went to sleep. Like that
Yeah,
was it. Everybody's
yeah.
asleep.
Yep.
Eric always
And
talks about that because Eric, I just have to plug this. He's a major night owl and always has been. And he said it would get so aggravated, like in the summer. He's a
yeah,
teenager and it would go to the static. And he would be like,
yeah,
oh, well, what am I going to do now?
yeah. Okay, so obviously it's late. The national anthem's playing. Everybody in the house is asleep, and I will say the house was a real suburban house in Simi Valley, California. So it
Okay.
wasn't a set, and it became a tourist like drive by, I guess, after the movie. But anyway, everybody's asleep, and the dog wakes up Carol Ann,
Hmm.
and we see the first hint of paranormal activity when Carol Ann inexplicably starts talking to the television's TV static.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She's at the bottom of the stairs in the
Yep.
den, um, talking to basically communicating with the static.
Yeah.
Um, So I did want to just add here this little fun fact tidbit that the scene where she's communicating through the static on the TV,
Uh
they
huh.
used that real static or what we was like known as snow, broadcast snow, which like we just said was really common before we had 24-hour television.
Right.
And nowadays our TVs can't even replicate that
Can't
static.
pretend.
Mm-mm,
No.
can't even do it.
Interesting.
But the whole family wakes up to walk down the stairs and see her talking to the TV screen. And I just want to say, by the way, she's adorable when she looks back at her family. And
Yes,
that
she is.
scene is iconic where you see her sitting in front of the TV like that.
Uh huh.
And yeah. So that is a really iconic clip.
Is that where she says they're here, or is that where she was
No.
just kind of talking to him? Okay, I didn't
Mm-mm.
think
She
so,
was
but
just talking to
in
them.
my mind, just from history, it's like that's when she says it as soon as
Yeah.
the movie
There's
starts. But
another one coming
yeah,
up where she
right,
does. Hmm.
right.
Hmm.
Well, it cuts to the credits, right? And then there's peaceful music, and we see America, like this calm neighborhood. And that's when we see the neighborhood, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm like,
And
oh, it's the ET neighborhood. Like,
yeah,
I swear it looks like the ET neighborhood to
it
me.
does.
I guess it's not, but it sure looks like it.
Yeah, it
Like when
does.
they go trick or treating.
Yeah, it looks just like that. Like I'm like, is this like a set? But it's not because we did our
So
research.
interesting. So interesting. I wonder if they use the same neighborhood though.
I don't know. I didn't see it in any of the
Any of the facts.
search.
Yeah, true. They probably would say that. But anyway, about this time, um, mom is doing mom things, in the morning at the house, doing things around the house. And did you see, by the way, the Star Wars sheets when she was making the bed?
Star Wars everything.
Uh-huh. So many shout outs to Star
Yep.
Wars. I noticed many of them.
Spielberg, another
Mm-hmm.
fingerprint all over the
Mm-hmm.
movie. Yeah.
So she finds Carol Ann's bird, Tweety, as she's making up the bed, is dead and in its cage. And she goes to flush it down the toilet, but Carol Ann walks in just at that time and decides she wants to bury Tweety. Again, she's
Yeah.
so dang cute. And so they go and bury Tweety. And of course, as soon as they bury Tweety, the dog's trying to dig it up.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember this. You probably don't. You were too little, but Aunt Pat, Uncle Danny, and Matt lived with Mama Mac and Daddy Mac for a while on our property. And he had a BB gun. And one day we were walking we kind of lived in a pecan orchard, and there was a bird up in a tree. And so I got the BB gun and I aimed and I shot that bird. First shot, only shot. I shot that bird. That bird hit the ground and I went to sobbing. I
bet
mean,
you were
like
devastated.
hysterical sobs that I killed this bird and I buried that bird in the tree that was closest to Mama Max by her propane gas.
Where I used to
thing.
play horsey on top
Yep.
of.
But the big tree that was right there by it, I buried the bird there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But what a good shot, girl.
Don't mess with me.
Jeez, who knew? Who knew? Okay. Well, so they bury it again. The dog's trying to dig it up. It's, it's a whole cute little family scene.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the next night and it's storming.
Yes.
And again, I'm just getting those ET vibes. And even this also Jaws, like something about the little brother reminds me of the little boys in Jaws, like the
Maybe so.
the little boys.
Yeah.
Again, Spielberg. Like there was just so much Spielberg to me in it.
Yeah.
Or feeling that I got. And Darth Vader posters on the wall.
Yep.
And we also get the first glimpse of the clown here. Do you
That
remember?
dang clown.
Do you remember I used to have a clown like that?
I do. And my best friend growing up, Dana, collected clowns.
I know.
I think really at last count when we went to college, she had like 300 clowns.
Sure.
From figurines to like cross stitch and all that. But this clown in particular was scary.
Yeah. And I had one like it, but mine had orange hair. It was, and that's one of the scenes I remember being like, oh my gosh, what about my clown that I have like this?
Yeah.
And I don't know where I got that clown from, but I did. So
the storm's happening.
The storm's happening. Kids are in bed. And we saw all this scene in the bedroom.
Right.
And it's the bedroom that Carol Ann and Robbie share.
They share a bedroom.
Yes. And Mom and Dad are just in their room watching TV, smoking joints.
Well, a while ago when you said they were the typical suburban mom and dad, I was like, I don't know. In Mississippi, I didn't know any parents. I didn't know anybody who smoked pot, but I can remember thinking it was
but they were out in California.
Yeah, they were doing a doobie or whatever you call it. I don't know.
Oh my gosh,
smoking it. I am so uncool right now. But
she's smoking the joint and Dad's reading a book about Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. I saw that. I
loved it. I was like, there we go. You can't talk about the 80s without it. Can't. And so the kids are freaking out about the storm and that dang clown. We see sitting there just looking scary. And Dad, the kids come in their room. They're scared. And so he walks the brother back to bed. And this is when we find out that the dad's company built the house they live in that neighborhood. Right. That's the company he works for, because he talks to him about that they built this house, and because he's talking about being scared of the tree and all that. And the dad's like,
he
no.
picked that property because that tree looked like it would, yeah.
So cut to later that night after everyone's gone to sleep.
Dun, dun.
And both the kids are in bed with Mom and Dad because they clearly got up again in the middle of the night. But we hear the national anthem again. So clearly they've left on the TV. We hear the national anthem and then the static. Well, Carol Ann wakes up again and she's drawn to the TV. And this sort of ghost-like entity comes out of the screen, and the family it's like the house shakes. The family wakes up by this violent earthquake. And this is when Carol Ann declares
they're here. Yeah.
And this is also very iconic.
Yeah, one of the most iconic quotes in all of horror history.
Yeah, of movie history.
Yeah. The next morning, they start questioning her, like, who is they? And Carol Ann says, the TV people. And the dog is seeming to act strange. And then all of a sudden, we start seeing some paranormal events happening with, like, chairs sliding across the floor and dishes breaking on their own. And the family is initially kind of amused, treating it like it's like, fun little ghost tricks, I guess. But I will say, I thought, like when I was first starting to watch, like, oh, this is going to be cute. when I was watching that. So I was
No.
amused for a little while too.
Well, it what like they had she had the trick where she could put the chair or
Yeah.
the thing on the floor, put you on the floor. She had it like all taped off
Oh,
so that
yeah.
when he came home from work, she's like, watch this. And she would like
Yes.
put Carol Ann on the floor.
Yeah.
And
And I just remember thinking, like, this is so interesting and cute. And yeah,
yeah,
not
and
for
that's how
long.
it started, right?
Yeah,
If it was cute and funny.
right.
Um, and they decided to go even to the neighbor and be like, "Hey, are you having any weird disturbances happening?" They're like, "No, they're not super close
So
to their neighbors. There's some like
they're
tensions there."
definitely not close. The
Yeah,
neighbors were rude.
the neighbors were rude. They had some tensions there, and they're like, "Okay." So they cut to bedtime, and again, it's another big storm. And bless his heart, Robbie is scared again. Um, and this is where the ghosts really take a turn for the worst
Yes.
because the tree, and I feel like this was so unexpected. The tree, I mean, unexpected, but expected that he has been scared of comes alive and attacks through the window, like to grab Robbie. And the
Right,
dad runs in there.
but if you're like, is it a tornado? Is it like you're kind of like
Right, there's a
questioning,
storm.
like right, and so you're not really sure if it's like a because of ghosts and spirits, or if it was just the storm
Like
and
the
it
tree
broke
blew in the window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I will tell you that Oliver Robbins, the little actor, actually got caught and nearly suffocated during the filming of this scene.
Oh, wow.
And that with the tree and all that.
That would have been another poltergeist curse.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
Well, it ends up that the tree we realize the tree is doing something menacing because it pulls him out of the window because everybody runs out of the house and thinking, they see this big storm and they're trying to get Robbie out of the tree and he's being sucked in. Meanwhile, forgetting about Carol Ann,
who's holding on to that bed for dear life, and it's pulling her
the white wicker bed.
Out the white wicker bed. Yes,
I'm like, girl, that is not going to hold up. That baby girl, that bed is not going to save you.
And it didn't.
And it didn't. She's screaming, and it's just that pulling her towards the closet. Everything's going into the closet. Every sound effect there.
And she's screaming, "Mommy!" Like it was gut wrenching, especially like now being a mom to hear that was.
Mm-hmm. But of course, they were trying to get Robbie. They didn't know. And so then all of a sudden they get Robbie, they save him, and they're like, oh my gosh, Carol Ann. So they run inside the house and
they can't find her.
I believe this is the part where Robbie says that she's in the closet, and they go into the closet and they're like throwing all the toys, and they get to the last thing and they realize, I think it's the clown sitting there. I think
it is. I was thinking that in my head. Yeah, I think it's the clown.
It's not Carol Ann, but they can hear her voice.
Yes.
And they realize that they can hear her, and she's trapped on the other side. And so they would call her through the static of the TV so that they could speak to her.
Yes. And so that next morning, Dad's not going into work. So everybody's devastated. They're devastated. They're confused. They don't know what's going on. And so his boss comes over, and that's when we learn that the land that this neighborhood was built on was once a cemetery. And so things start clicking with the dad. But the boss says they moved the cemetery. So the dad's like, we need help. And that's when they go and find, I think it's a parapsychologist group with the doctor. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what they're called, a parapsychologist.
It felt a little bit like Ghostbusters.
A little bit. It felt to me a little bit more like, and you probably never seen this, but oh gosh, I can't think of their name. The couple who's in The Conjuring. They're the
no, I never saw that.
They also worked on the Amityville Horror House. But they are like really famous, and it felt very much like that to me. That's who I would have called too.
They are having a rough morning. to say
Oh,
the
yeah.
least.
I mean, I do have to say that this is something about this movie too that I think made it so special, and I guess maybe why we don't feel like it's a horror movie. They do some really good acting. Like, the mom and the
Jo
dad,
Beth
like,
Williams. Yeah,
yeah.
both of them. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you feel like you're watching, instead of her being, like, sucked to the other side, Paranormal Activity, you feel like she's been, like, kidnapped on the street, and she's, like, talking to the police, desperate to find her daughter. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
don't feel like it's
You
this,
don't
like, you don't feel like
fake.
it's silly.
Right. You're right.
Totally.
It's like they've taken our daughter. She's
Yeah,
in the
and I
house
can
somewhere.
hear her, and I'm devastated.
Yeah.
It's really heart-wrenching. So yes, she comes to help her, and I can't think of her name. What is her name? Dr. Lesh. That's her name.
Dr. Lush. Yeah. Because I always thought about Lush. Like you might become a Lush if you saw this kind of stuff.
But yeah, I mean, it's could have very well been like, who are you going to call Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
So I do have to make a little sidebar note here. In this scene, when they come, Dad's makeup is bad. Like, I didn't feel like this happened a lot, but it was really bad. He had these, like,
You mean like the makeup artist did a bad job?
yes,
Oh,
like,
okay.
he had dark circles under his eyes, which he should, but it was like
Really bad. Oh,
It
makes
was
me
out
want
of
to go back
control.
and watch it. I think I missed that.
It was a little much. So,
Well, I thought she looked spot on. I thought
oh yeah. I mean,
they
you
had that
definitely had to have a
mom.
look of distress for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Well, they
So-
get to the house and they're like, where did this happen? And they walk those parapsychologists, the team, up to Carol Ann's door, and it's wild. Things are floating and it's just wild.
Flying all around the room.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, and so they immediately close the door and they're like, whoa.
Yep.
So then they set up the TV so that they can hear Carol Ann.
Yep, because that's how they hear her, is through the TV.
Yeah. The mom, and I think this makes so much sense. She's in this part, she's so calm
Yes.
and put together when she's talking about what's happening.
And as she's addressing Carol Ann, it's Mom.
And it's
Talk to me.
because
Yes.
as a mom,
Yes.
if there's still hope, you're like, this is what we're doing.
Yep. We're taking control. We're getting this taken care of. And I'm going to keep it together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she talks to the team about what's happening, and Dr. Lush and her team set up their equipment, similar that they rented from Ghostbusters, and they are going to confirm that there is a poltergeist intrusion in their home. And they discover a malevolent entity, and they nickname it the Beast, which
freaks me out as a Christian. Like,
well, I think that's their intention.
oh,
That's what they wanted to say. I think that they're referring to
that it's evil.
It
Is
Satan.
evil.
Yeah.
Because they do talk about the light.
I think that was the purpose, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And that the Beast is the one keeping Carol Ann captive.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
Yeah. Well, the whole team spends the night, and during the night, that paranormal activity kicks up, and the scene, Amanda, with the guy and the maggots on his face, and he was peeling.
Oh no, the maggots on the meat.
Yeah, the maggots on the meat.
He gets the meat out of the fridge, and then there's maggots.
Yes, because it's like a late
gross.
night snack. I'll have some meat, and then there's maggots, and then we see him like pulling off his face, and I guess it was like a delusion, or who really knows?
It was like a
because
delusion.
that was kind of horror-like. But fun fact, or fascinating fact, it's not fun because that scene wasn't fun to me. But it's Spielberg himself that the hands that are pulling off the mask, the face peeling in that bathroom, it's Steven Spielberg.
Just coming on in to get it done.
Yep.
That specific scene where he's pulling the skin off, that was bad. I mean, that was definitely early in the days. Like, it didn't look great as we would think of special effects now. But it reminded me, do you remember that video, that Peter Gabriel video of Sledgehammer? And it had like all the changing like scenes and things. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know the song, but I don't
Mhm.
remember the video.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'll try to send it to you, but it reminds me of that scene. Because
Okay.
it just, I don't know, it looks like it. So anyway, so then they're trying to get it through the night. And Dr. Elisha and her team realize this is bigger than I can
They're
handle
in
on my own.
over their head.
They're in over her head. And she was desperate to help this family and help this mother
Yes.
because
She
the
had such a
mom was
heart,
desperate.
I thought.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
When
she
there's
was kind and
yeah.
connected to them and like truly in it to save their daughter.
Yeah, like that morning, the next morning at the coffee table, she is talking to the mom and she hugs her and assures her,
Yes.
like, I'm not leaving you.
Right.
She says, we're coming back.
Yes.
I promise we're coming back. And so that's when she brings in a spiritual medium. This is when Tangina Barons comes in. And let's just take a moment to talk about Tangina as a character.
She's phenomenal. I mean, I feel like we talked about it.
Well, we did, but I mean,
in
just
the
like
intro,
she's
but
this short little lady.
yes.
Like her looks are so unique.
Yes.
But her voice.
Yes, sister.
Her voice is so unique. And she's got this like gentle spirit, but she's also a little bit creepy.
But she does have a gentle spirit. I agree with you, but she's also got this strength about her.
100%.
That is like coming from deep inside her, like, don't mess with me and don't mess with this family. And she knows, she walks in and she takes control.
But before she does, she asks some questions like,
oh, yeah,
are you willing to do anything I ask you to do?
Yeah, because she even said, even if it goes against what you believe. Oh, she did. She actually does use the word Christian.
I think she used the word, I don't know if she's Christian or religion, but or maybe we're just dreaming that up.
We might be inferring it.
But that was the intention. Yeah. She is asking some pretty serious questions and we will do anything you tell us to get our daughter back. Yeah. Sidebar in the scene when they bring Tangina, did you notice Mom's white outfit? She looked like a character from Star Wars, like in the all white. Yeah, I was like, okay, all right, yeah, must be the style. Look, you just go in your closet and pull whatever you need.
Look, you're not thinking about what you're wearing in this situation.
You're not. So Tangina is explaining to them through, this whole conversation that the spirits are not at rest and they are drawn to Carol Ann's life force. And she explains that the restless spirits are being controlled by the evil beast. And that
the beast itself is like, I guess, camouflaging or acting in a way that, well, it's lying to Carol Ann, but Carol Ann sees this evil force as another child.
Right. She doesn't see a scary entity.
Right. So she's not necessarily fearful of it. And that's why it's able to draw her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And all this is making perfect sense to me. So we move into the rescue. They're going to get Carol Ann.
Now they out of the closet of
bringing her out of the other side. So they gather all the stuff they need, tennis balls, there's rope. They talk about the plan and Tangina has the mom call out to her, but Carol Ann is not answering this time. And so she tells the dad to get stern with her and tell her, if you don't answer, I'm going to give you a spanking. And he doesn't want to.
He does not want to say that. And all I could think of was Mama would have said it.
Sorry. But I'm getting my floss water. Getting my floss water. So then we hear Carol Ann screaming. And Tangina tells the mom to tell her to run to the light
But the mom doesn't want to do it because remember earlier,
They,
Dr.
Lesh was saying,
said,
don't.
tell her to stay away from the light.
Mhm.
And so she was scared that by telling her to go to the light, she was going to lose her.
And so reluctantly she does, because remember, Tangina has said, you have to do whatever I tell you.
That's right. That's right.
She does. And this is when they go up and they open the bedroom door and the lights are flashing. It's like,
yes,
coming out of the closet. I don't know if that sound effect went through or not, but it's a lot of wind and it's like flashing strobe lights.
Yeah.
And so they do this test to see if it's going to work. And the test is they numbered tennis balls. And so they throw a tennis ball into the portal and whoop, it comes out in the living room. The guy catches it and he's like, oh my gosh, it worked. It's tennis ball number 1.
And it's covered in this slime, like
red,
jello, red.
Just like Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Except it's red instead of green.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then they try again with tennis ball number 2. It works. And then they throw the rope through because now we're kind of seeing, something's going to happen with them getting, crossing over.
Again, although it wasn't like a cute part, but that was fascinating to me how they were doing that. Like, I can just remember even at the time being fascinated by what was going to happen.
Yeah. And and I know this is so silly, but like it actually made sense. Like, it wasn't nonsensical to me. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Just going to throw a ball into the closet and it comes down in the living room. But
that makes sense.
Yeah. Sure.
So, they're ready to go in and get Carol Ann. And so she's got the rope tied around her. She's going to go. And when I say she,
the mom,
I mean, at first it was it was Tangina. She was going to go in.
Oh, was it?
Uh-huh. And then,
I don't even think I recognized that. Okay.
And she
but she never went in.
She's
okay. Yeah,
she's
right.
starting
I remember
to.
now. Yes.
And then and it is like all this noise and wind, and they're like talking really loud.
Yeah.
And she says, and Diane says to Tangina, she won't come to you. Let me go. And Tangina says, you've never done this before. And Diane says, neither have you. And Tangina goes, you're right. You go.
You go. Yes. So she gets all secured up by that rope and she enters the closet or the portal or the vortex. And she is going in to get Carol Ann and bring her back. And she and Coach or the dad kiss in front of the light. It's really beautiful.
I love that scene.
I know.
It actually reminds, this is another like scene that reminds me of E.T. sort of, when they kiss in front of that light. Just something about it, the imagery.
And the music and everything that was with it. Yeah, it was good.
I love that part. So she heads in and Coach is holding the rope. And Tangina is sort of I guess like coaching him through it.
Yeah.
And she starts calling the spirits into the light. She's trying to get the spirits to cross over.
Yeah.
And so you see all of these spirits like flying flying away, which is what she wanted. And I think she was trying to get them all out and the beast closer so they could get Carol Ann. But right about that time, he's kind of freaks out at this point because he's like the dad. He's like, we got to get him. We got to get him. So he pulls the rope and she's like, not yet. And we see the beast's face come through the closet door. And it's super scary. That would have been a jump scare.
It was a jump scare for sure. Yes, for sure.
And then on the other side of the rope, at this time, Carol Ann and Diane fall through the floor into the living room.
Yeah.
Where the tennis balls were coming out.
Right.
And they're all covered in the
red
stuff. Yeah. It looks a lot like strawberry jelly. And they take him straight to the bathtub to clean them off, and they're not really talking or anything, and so they're
No,
like
it's
trying
like
to
they're
out of it.
almost, yeah.
And so they're trying to talk to them and get them to wake up when the mom does, and then Carol Ann wakes up.
Yes.
And she doesn't remember anything of what's happened. And so they decide, we got to get out of here.
Yeah,
And
but before that, Tangina says those famous words, right? This house is clean. Not so much.
So the next day, or very shortly after, we see they are packing up to move. Like there are boxes, they are
the
loading
heck out
up.
of Dodge.
Yep. And Diane has this gray streak in her hair, like Elvira from the experience, which is so interesting.
It's marked her.
Yeah, it's like exactly. It's like marked her. Ooh, creepy. And the plan is that night they were going to continue packing, and then Dad had to run to the office, and so they were going to keep packing. And when he got home, they were going to go stay at a hotel. And so they told the daughter was going out with her boyfriend or something. And so they told her, just be back later tonight because we're going to go to the hotel. So he goes
First
to
of
work.
all, though, ain't no way
Nope.
I was not going to stay at that house by myself.
Nope.
Nope, not just me and the kids. I'm not going to go take a hot, steamy bath and relax thinking it's all over.
Nope. I'd be like,
no
you're
way.
going to need to wait.
This is when, forget about the fact that we're going into closets to see spirits. This is when I suspended my disbelief. I was like, come on.
No, Dad, you're not going to the office. You can do that tomorrow. We're going to the hotel.
Yeah.
So back to it. They're packing up. It gets later. Dad's still not home. And so she gets Robbie and Carol Ann ready for bed. And, their room is
when she gets in the bathtub.
Their room is mostly packed up. And so she decides, I'm going to get into the bathtub. And
you know what's not packed, though?
The clown.
That darn clown.
That dadgum clown. And she, let me just say, before, she also has got the hair coloring because she's going to fix that.
Yes, that's right. She's going to fix that.
She's like,
she's going to wash that gray right out of her hair.
And she's got a steamy bath going. And while she's getting in the bath, or about to get into the bath, shenanigans start happening in the kids' room.
Yeah.
Well, he wakes up and realizes that the clown's not sitting in his chair anymore where he's supposed to be. And
that may have been the scariest part of the movie is this part right here.
This part is the part I remember seeing on the stairs. And I was like, this clown I have to have has got to go. This clown has got to go. So he realizes the clown's not there, and he looks under his bed, and that freaking clown pops out and pulls him under the bed, and it was so dang scary. That was a jump scare
for sure.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I got to tell you, really, when you think about the curse, here's a second way that Oliver Robbins almost died, because during the filming, the mechanical clown malfunctioned and its arms tightened around the actor's neck, and Spielberg noticed he was choking and he rushed over to free him from it.
This poor kid
and the clown, and then you've got the 4 deaths. So
he needed some compensation.
Sign me up for that remake. Yeah.
Gosh, that poor boy. That's both things happened to him.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think there is a curse. Do you think there's a curse?
People say.
Well, okay. So anyways, clown's attacking Robbie. Meanwhile, Diane has washed that gray right out of her hair. And this is iconic to me because she's wearing that jersey, that long jersey.
Yeah.
And she's laying on her bed. She's going to relax. She's blow dried her hair. And all of a sudden, she gets taken over by a spirit and starts levitating and moving around the room. This reminded me of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
The moving around the room part.
Yeah, exactly.
And so she's terrified, and she can't get to the kids. She hears them screaming.
Yep.
So when she finally is able to get free and get out of the room, she runs outside to get help. This is
From the
awful.
mean neighbor that they don't even get along with.
Yeah, who's not being any help.
No.
And she falls into that dadgum pool.
And the skeletons.
And this is when those dang skeletons, and it's muddy water because they were building it.
Yes.
And those dadgum skeletons start coming out. This is another part as a child. We had a pool, and this was ingrained in my memory.
Yeah.
Those skeletons popping out, and then caskets popping up.
Yes. Okay. So do you want to know why they used real human skeletons rather than like plastic replicas? You ready?
Yeah.
They were cheaper.
How did they get them?
I don't know.
Like, who's like, yeah, you can just use these skeletons. I guess if they're donated for, I don't know.
I don't know.
Buy them illegally.
I can't imagine the fact that they did not tell her until after filming, because to me, that's some stuff like, am I going to be haunted with something the rest of my life, like a curse type thing? Like, that is so creepy.
That's the poltergeist curse right there.
There you go, right there. We have explained it. You're welcome, listeners. We now know why there was a curse on Poltergeist.
They should not have used that. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
When she's in that pool and she's trying to get out and she's slipping, like,
oh my gosh,
I was just on the edge of my seat.
I can't stand it.
Like,
I can't stand it. The mud, the slippery mud. She can't get out. She can't get out. And the thing just keep popping up.
Yes.
It is so awful.
Yes.
It's awful. It, again, takes me back to Urban Cowboy. Problematic scenes in Urban Cowboy. This is problematic that they used real skeletons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And just unhinged. It's just unhinged. The 80s are unhinged, y'all. They're like, oh, let's just save a buck and get some real skeletons.
But you know what?
What?
She manages to get out, and she literally calls on God to help her.
Yes. I know. I love that.
I loved that.
I loved
that because you wouldn't see that in a lot of movies today.
Up to that point, we didn't know.
Right.
I feel like we were like, I don't know that they're people of faith.
Right.
Like, she didn't really indicate that.
Right.
So that was a cool moment, I thought.
Yeah, it was. But she gets Robbie and Carol Ann just as the house is being taken over by all this craziness.
And can I just tell you, she gets Carol Ann when she, again, is baby girl holding on to the wicker bed again.
Yes.
And pieces of the wicker bed are flying off. And I'm just like, this wicker bed is a bad idea.
Yeah.
The wicker of the 80s, the wicker furniture.
Do you remember that big? I had that big blue high back wicker chair that when I got to redo my bedroom when I was 16, and I had that big wicker chair, and it was the blue color that was in my my wallpaper. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the wicker furniture.
I thought it was fabulous.
People love wicker furniture. Okay, yes. So Steven comes home just in time. And
like, it's chaos. Like, it's not like he comes home and she's got it settled. It's still chaos.
No.
They're still trying to get away.
Stuff's like busted, like there's like explosions and stuff. Like, it's crazy. And the sister also gets home about this time from her date.
Yes.
And the boss pulls up at the same time too, I guess, just to like check on how they're doing. And this is when he confronts his boss. And he finds out that he was hiding a dirty little secret, that housing development was, built on a cemetery, which he knew, but only the headstones were moved.
Yes.
They left the bodies.
Oh, my gosh.
Which upset their spirits.
I guess so.
So the house does like implode. Like, it basically
falls into itself. Yeah.
Yeah. and you see the beast one last time with the skeletal corpses and coffins erupting from the ground, and it's just terrifying. And so they do escape the house collapsing in on itself, and it
In
looks like
their station wagon, by the way.
and I'm like, they're like trying to get it to go, and it's not, it's like the whole, hurry up, go, go, go.
Yeah, it's like making me catch my breath right now, this whole last scene, because you do tend to think it's over after they've gotten Carol Ann back.
Oh, for sure.
And then
remember, I told you when I was watching, I was like, I think there's like another part.
Yeah.
And then I didn't. Oh my gosh, this is a poor note taking thing. But when this happened with the house getting sucked up, didn't it something happen to the boss? Like, didn't he get?
Yeah, I think so. I think he got sucked up in it. Yeah,
like I think he was killed. So anyway, they do get away finally in the station wagon, and you're just like, go, 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 go. So they do get away, and they check into a Holiday Inn. With the old school holiday sign.
Yes.
And it's a motel, obviously. And they go into the room. They're all just like stunned and exhausted. Diane does not have any shoes on. She's just wearing that jersey nightshirt.
Yeah.
And they go in. And one of the most iconic, best endings.
Yes.
We see Steven immediately roll the television set out of the room.
No TVs here. He's like, you're not getting us here. So good. It is a great ending. So
it was a great movie altogether. I was excited about watching it.
Let's talk about it, how it measures up.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought is Poltergeist was one of the first of those like suburban like horror type films. And I think you can see glimpses of it even today, which is one of the reasons I think it measures up, like in Stranger Things, right? Kind of like these suburban families being involved with these spiritual,
very unexpected. Like, what hauntings. Is this doing here? This peaceful community.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I totally
and the acting is incredible. One of the things we didn't talk about is right whenever the parapsychologist got there, and we hear Carol Ann. It's kind of like she's moving, and she goes through her mom, and her mom's like, she went through me. Smell her. I smell her. I smell her. And so the acting, I swear the acting measures up to today. It is just.
I do too. It was so
well
good.
acted. The casting was just dead on. And I actually, I will say, even though it was scary and that's not really my vibe, and I'm kind of a rom-com girl, I enjoyed it as one of probably the top 10 rewatches we've watched so far.
Oh, easily for me. I would even say maybe top 5. Like, it was so well done, so good. I so enjoyed watching it. And this could have been a film that you easily don't buy into.
Right.
But because.
Or it could have been super cheesy.
But because of the acting in it, I 100% bought in. I was there. I wanted them to get that little girl back.
Yeah.
Because they were so desperate to find their daughter and made it feel so real.
Yeah. And look, that never changes. If something happens and something's taken your kid away, you're going to fight with everything you've got to the end to get your kid back. So I definitely think it measures up.
I enjoyed it so much. So much. I'm so glad we did that for a rewatch. So, and honestly, if y'all, surely all you real fans have seen it. If you haven't, or you're like, ooh, I don't really remember the last time I saw it, or maybe I've just seen parts of it, go watch it. It is
this week.
This week. Well,
it is. Yeah.
It is spooky season.
It is.
So get your spooky movie on for this week and go watch Poltergeist. It is well worth it. It's great. It's great.
Well, real fans, that's a wrap on Poltergeist, a film that made us look at our TVs, our closets, and even our backyard trees more closely.
Oh, or if you had a toy clown that was like
Or clowns,
kind of life size, like kid size, for sure.
That's true.
And now it's time for clues to see if you can guess what movie we're rewinding to next week.
All right, clue number 1. A loyal family pet becomes a terrifying threat.
Clue number 2, a broken down car traps a mother and a child in a fight for survival.
All right, clue number 3. This horror classic proves you don't need moonlit nights, ghosts, or monsters to terrify. Sometimes the scariest things happen in broad daylight.
Now, sister, this is going to be the weekend. This is going to be right before Halloween, right?
This is Halloween.
Drops.
Yeah.
So, we might need to like have a spooky costume or something. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Maybe so. We'll see.
But this will be our last one for this Halloween season. So enjoy.
Yeah.
Next week. All right, real fans, be sure to subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating, and write a quick review for us. It helps so much. And don't forget that we're also on Facebook, Real Sisters Rewind, and Instagram. And any interaction or shares on those platforms are very helpful and much welcomed.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you send us a screenshot of your review to hello@sistersrewind.com, we'll mail you a Real Sister sticker to say thank you. Thanks for showing us the love.
That's right. Thank you so much for rewinding with us, real fans. We will see you next time.